It's time for our daily dose of cope, and we have customer service leopard saying to all my non-wealthy Trump fans, your face is very important to us, and we will get around to eating it as soon as we can. There are so many stories. There's no reason why I should have this much content on a daily basis, yet here we are. Let's jump into it. Let's start out with this how it started, how it's going. It's titled, You Were Supposed to Take Their Medicare and Medicaid, Not Mine. We're going to start off with Cindy back in May 2024. She says, I live in Pennsylvania. We want President Trump, not a PDF file for president. The only reason you are voting for Biden is because you're just like him. And more motivation puts, what? Because, yeah, what, girl? And then February 17th, she says, Happy President's Day to the best, President Donald J. Trump. God bless you and your family always. Then we're moving to March 2025. I support the man who is against corruption of the American people, who put their faith in a president who traded his presidency for money and corruption. That is what President Biden did. Corruption at its finest. President Trump and Elon are bringing out all the corruption. Now, how it's going. All right, we have Cindy down here in June saying, President Trump, I voted for you. I'm a widow, disabled, and now have cancer. I'm on SSA. I worked all my life starting in 1976. I have Medicare and Medicaid. I know I don't want illegals on it, but they are saying you are cutting SNAP and Medicaid. I hope not. I don't get much. And so as Trump and as the MAGA Republicans are looking to shut down the government, and as the Democrats are trying to reinstate Medicaid and reinstate all of the health cuts, the health care cuts that the Republicans did, I wonder how Cindy is doing these days and if she is still backing Donald Trump, saying that he is the best thing since sliced bread. So here we have Senator John Thune, and I don't understand these people, these lawmakers that come from these red states that are heavily reliant on federal funds for Medicaid, for SNAP, and in his case for a farming economy. He's in a state that has a farming economy. So it says, we've got a big harvest coming in here in South Dakota, corn and soybeans, and no place to go with it. And why is that, John Thune? Why is that? Is because of Donald Trump, these tariffs, the stupid trade war, and now China won't buy any of these farmers' products. And he is part of the problem. When are they going to have a conversation with Donald Trump about this stupid trade war? This is funny, but it's not particularly leopards ate my face. This person named Death Angel says, believing that Donald Trump and his billionaire friends want the best for you as an average American citizen is like thinking the stripper really likes you. Y'all needed that because that is absolutely true. That's how these people get on here with these Dear Don letters and praying to Trump and talking to him like he actually cares or reads their comments. Cooled Down Kane says, all they have in common at this point is their hatred for anything non-Christian and non-white and non-male. MAGA can't even genuinely say it's about the money and the economy because by almost every effing metric, people in the middle class or below are becoming worse off by the month. Some random somewhere says, don't know about the non-Christian part. I understand a lot of them don't like Catholics, and I don't think either Trump or his followers really follow Christian teachings. Something about Jesus being too woke, I think. They use the term Christianity so that they can come for the people that they don't like. It's not that they really are Christian and follow Christian doctrines. They are hateful people, but they still are using the Bible and Christianity as a weapon against people. Now, let's get to this. Okay, so Marjorie Taylor Greene, her and Lauren Birdbrain, those are Republicans that are still signed on to release the Epstein files. They had to get to 218. And now Representative Massey and Representative Ro Khanna have the 218 signatures that's needed to vote to release the Epstein files. The Republicans said, we're not going to release the Epstein files, but Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of them that is saying we need to fight for these victims. Okay, so this is an article from the New York Times. This is just an excerpt. It says, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, the far right-wing Republican from Georgia, did not appreciate being threatened by the White House over her backing for a bill ordering the release of the Epstein files. So, after a Trump official put out word that doing so would be viewed as a very hostile act, she called a top West Wing aide to push back. I told them, "You didn't get me elected. I do not work for you. I work for my district." She recounted recently during a wide-ranging interview in her office on Capitol Hill. "We aren't supposed to just be whipped on our votes because they're telling us what to do with this scary threat or saying we'll primary you or that we won't get invited to the White House events. Me personally, I don't care." These days, when she encounters tactics like that from Mr. Trump's teams, she added, "I'm like, expletive you." Oh, okay. Now, you could tell that this is MAGA on MAGA right now because of this tweet. Listen to this tweet here. She says, "I am not about to self-delete. I am one of the happiest, healthiest people you will meet. I have full faith in God and Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. As a sinner, I am only saved through His grace and mercy." And this part in yellow. With that said, if something happens to me, I ask you all to find out which foreign government, why is she talking about a foreign government, or powerful people would take heinous actions to stop the information from coming out, as if this is not a domestic threat to her, as if it's not Trump's team and MAGA trying to stop this information. She put foreign government. Okay, let's continue. Not only about this issue, but because of the truth that I have been speaking. The people understand what I'm saying. She posted that as she is sharing her other post from her representative page. Okay, let's look at that. Now to this one. All right, it says, "To be clear, to set the record straight on my support for the Massey Epstein discharge petition, I stand with girls and women who are SA'd and raped, period, every time at all times. For me, it's not about a pissing contest between political parties or political enemies. The Epstein grape and PDF file network must be exposed. The women and their attorney have said over and over," listen to this, "that Donald Trump did nothing wrong and he was the only one that helped the women. That is factually true." Why did she put that part in there? And why is Donald Trump in the White House the one that's talking about this is a hostile act to sign on to this discharge petition? Now she has to talk about the Democrats. She says, "Also, the Democrats who had power for the past 4 years never did a single thing or showed they even cared about these women who were victims of Jeffrey Epstein. They could have exposed the entire thing while they had the power, but never lifted a finger to do so. If anyone is implicated, then they have the right to clear their name, just as millions of Americans have had to do when falsely accused of a crime. I've had to do that many times and even had to defend myself against lies and pay massive attorney bills to do so." All right, now she's just talking about other stuff, so I'm going to keep it moving. And while Americans are like, "Release the blank files," Donald Trump is like, "Earhart." So, oh my gosh, y'all. If you didn't see this from the other day, I need to put this here because of the ridiculousness of it. I have been asked by many people about the life and times of Amelia Earhart. Such an interesting story, and I would consider declassifying and releasing everything about her. In particular, her last fatal flight. She was an aviation pioneer, the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean, and achieve many other aviation firsts. She disappeared in the South Pacific while trying to become the first woman to fly around the world. Amelia made it almost 3/4 around the world before she suddenly and without notice vanished, never to be seen again. Her disappearance almost 90 years ago has captivated millions. I am ordering my administration to declassify and release all government records related to Amelia Earhart, her final trip, and everything else about her. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, because that is what people are asking for. Amelia Earhart, not Epstein. Remember back in February, the MAGA influencers, they got their binders. They're going to release all of the Epstein files, but then nothing happened. This was February 27th. Pam Bondi says she got all of the information and then absolutely nothing. But here we have Thomas Massey. He made this tweet back in September saying, "The White House says helping me secure a vote to release all the Epstein files is a hostile act. They're threatening anyone who helps bring true transparency and justice for the survivors. This is a tacit admission. The Oversight Committee data release is woefully incomplete." So just keep that in mind. Now we got the final tweet from the patriotic blonde. She says, and now we're on the brink of World War III. I'm a 3-time Trump voter and a constitutional conservative. I worked his presidential campaign. I now regret all of the above. As from Epstein to Israel, he has completely betrayed us. God help us, we've been played. I wonder how long it's going to take for other people to get to the point of understanding that they have been played. They're getting their funds ripped away. They're getting their health care ripped away. All of these billionaires are getting their pockets lined. Donald Trump's family is making all kind of money, but regular schmegular people, they are not. Anyways, okay, I'm going to end that here. And I'm going to play a couple of clips regarding that MAGA dentist from out in California. Now, come to find out, she is married. She has a husband that she said is in complete alignment with her values. So I'm going to show a clip of that. And I'm going to show a clip where that dentist might actually be facing some lawsuits. So I'm about to tack that on at the end. I really, really hope that these deplorable people get exactly what is coming for them. Chime in and let me know what you think.
So do y'all remember that pediatric dentist who got on here and proudly proclaimed that she would actually take away pain medicine without consent if she noticed that her patients were uncomfortable with her being an outright Trump supporter? Yeah, so the good news is, not only is she most likely facing losing her license and her practice, but now she's probably facing multiple lawsuits from other dental practices. Why? Because obviously after that clip went viral, a lot of people wanted to try and find where she worked because she obviously shouldn't be working with patients, especially children, because she's a psychopath. However, there are multiple practices across the country, I think even some in her own state, by the same name. And we have now had several owners from those other practices come on here and say they have lost business, they have had appointments canceled, they have had their reputations damaged because they were confused with this other person. And if they can prove that there is like tangible loss, they can sue her and her practice for loss and damages. It just makes my little heart sore that she's gonna be in court for the next years and hopefully has to pay, I don't know, tens of thousands of dollars. But most importantly, I hope she never works on another patient again.
You know that dentist I was talking about the other day that is MAGA has admittedly said that she plays with the, numbing gas if her customers show some kind of dislike for MAGA Republicans, right? Well, one of my people came into my comments and said, her husband is a neurologist. Huh? That's even scarier. So I did a little bit more digging. Come to find out, he is a neurologist in Valencia. His practice is Valencia. He is a partner in the mind-body infusion company with his wife. And there's a write-up about this couple. Beautiful. In the write-up, Harleen is talking about how their business and personal go hand in hand and how they share the same views, they have the same goals, and he specializes in strokes. And the flags immediately went off like, that's hypertension, high blood pressure. That's something that impacts our community so much. I wonder if he shares the same views. Listen, I'm not here to ruin nobody's life or to make it hard for anybody. But when I hear about people purposely inflicting pain, that's a kind of racism when you have that kind of power over people and they come to you in their time of need, desperate time of need, and you do something like that. Maybe there should be some investigating into him too. I don't know. What do y'all think? When I'm on the phone with my friends or talking to family, these are the conversations that we have. If you guys want to have a conversation like this live, put live in the comments. For more political gossip, and this is gossip based on facts, okay, about these morons, follow me.
We've all heard the warnings. Be careful what you say and especially what you post on social media because it could come back to haunt you, even if you meant it as a joke.
So I have a secret hat I use sometimes. It says, make your smile great again. So I wear that when I work on my patients.
Santa Clarita dentist Dr. Harleen Graywall of Skyline Smiles, a self-proclaimed MAGA dentist, is facing criticism after making comments about patients who don't share her political views.
So when they look horrified or complain, I quietly cut back on the laughing gas and say, you got this. It's not as bad as you think it is.
Online reaction has been swift. Some users say they've reported Dr. Graywall to the California Dental Board. Others are leaving reviews like this one. This doctor bragged on video that she treats patients differently based on their political views. This is not just unprofessional, it is unethical and scary.
I think America's it's a free country. It's free speech.
Dr. Graywall says she did nothing wrong, and it was simply a joke she cracked at a Republican event 2 years ago.
Nobody's directly getting harmed from it. It's just, I'm making a joke. We all make jokes. And I'm sure the Democrats get in a room and make jokes about Republicans too.
It's not a joke. Laughing about inflicting pain as a dentist is not a joke. We have communities that fear going to the dentist and it can impact their health.
Rebecca Heinman runs the page Rise Up SCV. She shared the video of Dr. Graywall's remarks on Instagram, and it quickly went viral.
She may have thought she was making a joke, but that's representing herself and her business.
It is against the law to discriminate against someone based on their political beliefs.
Civil rights attorney James DeSimone says Dr. Graywall may have opened herself up to legal trouble, even if she says it was just a joke.
When you have a dentist who says that she's deliberately treating you differently because of your political beliefs, there doesn't seem to be anything too funny about that.
People should take light of the situation, like relax, chill. It's not that big of a deal to just make a joke every now and then.
Dr. Graywall says the dental board already launched an investigation on this very issue 6 months ago, and she says the board found nothing wrong.